Hello and welcome to AgrifoodsPodcast for women, men, and youth. My name is Harriet Mawea. So this is a podcast where we try to discuss the solutions to some of the challenges we are facing in agriculture and food systems in Africa, and we try to look into what are the opportunities to be tapped, what are the solutions. So that is the lens that we try to approach on the various topics that we discuss on issues of agriculture and food systems. Again, welcome and thank you for stopping by. My name is Harriet Mawea, if I didn't mention that. All right, so in this particular video, because it's not a full episode, I look forward to being able to host different guests where we can discuss different topics on food systems and agriculture. But at the moment, it has been my time has been a bit constrained, so I've not been able to commit to that. But again, because I really want to be consistent in this channel, I will always try to come and share snippets of little things that I know, and I hope this can be beneficial to to the people that are interested in this particular work or in this particular channel, so that we don't have it dormant. I think this creating content, whatever type of content, I think it's a lot of work, and I personally did not know that beforehand, but I'm ready to take up the challenge and see how I can roll with it, given that I'm trying to do this part-time, and I hope to be consistent. That's the main thing, to be consistent. So in today's short video, I'll be discussing insects as feed. Insects as feed. I know you and I have had a chance to eat insects. I remember when we were younger, when you visit the grandparents, they would make insects during the rain seasons, especially the termites, and they were really, not only nutritious, but they really tasted really well. So most of us have had insects as food, but because of many things that are happening in the world, we rarely currently eat insects, but they are indeed a source of nutrients. We have the good insects, we have the bad insects. So not all insects are edible, but those that are edible, they are a good source of protein and fats and various other nutrients. So in this particular video, I want to discuss insects as feed. Feed for chicken, feed for pigs, feed for the domestic animals that we keep. So it has been proven that indeed insects are a good source of protein for chicken or for pigs. They are good source of protein source for feed for the domestic animals that we keep. And for instance, on the background for Kenya, the feeds that we have currently that we use for chicken production, of course, they're pricey, but insects could be an alternative for, an alternative source that is affordable for protein source for your chicken or for your pigs. Did you know that? So I thought about that topic about insects being feed, and I was reminded about my master's degree where I did a thesis on issues to do with insects as feed. So this was a huge project where we were looking into different nodes of things to do with insects as feed, and also there was aspects of how to navigate insects as the bad side of insects, for instance, where they eat food, they eat your crops, stuff like that. But I wasn't looking into that on my end. I was looking at insects as feed, and that's what I want to discuss today. So in this particular work, again, as I mentioned, it was a big project, but I was focusing on consumers, the market aspect of insects as feed. So in this, we had different students who are doing both PhD and master students who are doing different things around that topic. On my end, I was trying to understand consumer preferences, consumer perspectives, consumer awareness, consumer willingness to pay, the amount that consumers really want to pay for products that have had insects as protein. So in this case, I narrowed down to chicken. So the willingness of consumers to pay and their preferences and awareness issues around willingness to pay for chicken that has been fed insects as feed. And the insects that I was looking into in this particular work were termites, grasshoppers, black soldier flies, maggots, housefly maggots, and the fifth one was which one? I said termites, grasshopper, black soldier flies, housefly maggots, I said that. And the fifth one was crickets. Crickets, yes. So I was looking into those insects, just trying to understand the level of awareness that consumers in Kenya have on insects as feed. And I narrowed down to 4 counties: Kakamega County, Nyeri County, Kiambu County, and Uasin Gishu County. So I was interacting with consumers of chicken. I'm sure most of you who are watching or who will come across this video are indeed consumers of chicken. So we wanted to know what is their willingness to pay for chicken that is fed on feed that is from insects. And the results showed that over 90% of consumers were willing to pay. A lot of consumers in the side of Western, in Kakamega and Uasin Gishu, really did not have a lot of issues around what the chicken has fed on. But on the side of Kiambu and Nyeri, there were a bit concerns about housefly maggots. What type of insects are you talking about? Black soldier fly maggots, they are dirty. I wouldn't want to come across them. There were such perspectives. Yet, actually, the contrary is the right thing, that they are indeed a nutritious source of protein. The housefly, when it is in the maggot stage, it is a protein source. It is not dirty. It has not become a housefly. It won't go touching on dirty things. So that was not a main concern from the proven studies that I've looked into this. So it is indeed a source of protein, the maggot itself. And therefore, the results overall showed that consumers were willing to pay, and the amounts that they were willing to pay were, of course, a little bit higher than the current market price that was gauged upon when I was setting up the study and the work and all that. And the issues of awareness and perspectives and perceptions as well. In a nutshell, there was a positive perception about insects. And this goes back to our traditions, or when we were growing up, when definitely insects were a source of protein. Unlike today, because of many, many issues that have come up, they are not very much given a lot of consideration. And that's why I'm here, because I do think there is an opportunity. If you're really a young person who is interested to do agriculture, you can really look into insects rearing, and you can produce insects as feed. Let's focus on feed as feed, and you can really sell it at affordable price, and you will find market for that. Again, if you really want to get that information about what insects to rear, you can find that. You can Google, for instance, in ICIPE's website. They deal with insects. It's an International Center for Insect Physiology and Ecology, so it's all about insects. They look at the good side of insects, the bad side of insects. And then for us as agricultural economists, we come in to weigh on the market aspect of it, the supply and demand aspect of it. If you bring it to the market, what do you need to know as a scientist or as a farmer who is rearing that? What do you need to know? What is the demand? Is there a demand? And all those factors. So my work was around that. By profession, I'm an agricultural economist. So as we wind up, yes, indeed, there is an opportunity where you can rear insects as feed, and you can indeed supply this to different farmers who are looking for the protein source for their chicken or for their pigs, which definitely comes from insects. So as I mentioned, you can get that information from International Center for Insect Physiology and Ecology, that is ICIPE. They focus on issues to do with insects, and I'm sure they are very generous with the information that you would want to know about rearing insects, and as well knowing what type of insects that will give you the protein that is marketable, if you're really looking at it from an angle of making profits and agribusiness. As well, the other side of where you can benefit as you rear insects, as well as making of organic fertilizer. I came across a young man in Wasengishu, that is in Eldoret, who was actually manufacturing organic fertilizer, and he had a really high demand. As in, he had many customers because of high demand for organic fertilizer within the area that he is, working in, and that is in Eldoret. He also mentioned that he was looking for. He had kind of gained some market outside the country, so meaning that there is a high demand for organic fertilizer, which I think is a good way of doing organic farming, definitely. So insects there's a big opportunity there for young men and women who really want to venture into such production. I will try to look for a contact that we can have if you're really interested to get this information, where you can just write them a WhatsApp message, or you can call and they will give you this kind of information on what you need to know and how to go about that. I will also request the young man who is already doing that. I know there are other people I saw on TikTok doing the same, but I'm not familiar with them. But for this young man in Eldoret, I can definitely request him for his number as well to put in our description, so that you can reach out to him to get more information. And if you want him to set up the farm for you, I believe he has also that knowledge, and probably you can pay him for his services to promote his work, and as well for you to learn, because he will give you all the knowledge and information that he has on this kind of venture. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please become part of the community, subscribe to our channel, and tell a friend to tell a friend. As well, if you really want to come by and discuss some of these topics and opportunities that you foresee or you have seen in agriculture and food systems, you are much welcome. Feel free to reach out to us through our contacts, that is our email address, and as well our phone number. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.